What's up, everybody? This is Jed Johnson from dieselcrew.com. Of course, you know they call me NAPALM. This video is coming out on Christmas Day, and I thought I would get into the festive holiday spirit and wear some red today. This is a masked superstar mask, the masked superstar became Axe in Demolition. He was also Bolo Mongol, real name Bill Eadie. He played one of the machines. He was Jake Bullet in the movie No Holds Barred, and I think it's a crying shame that he's not in the WWF Hall of Fame. Demolition was my favorite tag team of all time in WWF, and Bill Eadie, that played Masked Superstar, became Axe, and that's why my cat's name is Axe, named after him. Hopefully one day WWE will put this guy into the Hall of Fame before he passes away. Both he and Barry Darsow were outstanding professional wrestlers of multiple talents, 3-time tag team champions as Demolition. They got to be in the Hall, brother. Maybe this year's the year. Hey, the question for today is, what are my most popular videos? This comes from Doug, and I had an idea of what some of the most popular videos were, but what I did was I went and I searched by views, and I somehow guessed the proper number because I figured out the top 10 most popular videos by searching for my videos that have 50,000 or more views. And I actually have exactly 10 videos that have 50,000 views or more. So we're going to do a little countdown. I'm going to give you the title, the views, the year more or less that it came out, and the links to these videos will be in the description box below if you'd like to watch them. So number 10 is titled World Class Pinch Grip, Chad Woodall double 245s with old school Yorks. It's got 53,000 views, came out in 2011. So this particular year I was at Summer Strong at Sorenex, spending time with my good friend, the late Richard Soren. And I was MC for this kind of feats of strength show that they put on. And one of the feats was Chad Woodall trying to perform a double old school Yorks pinch. At the time, nobody had done that before. He came very, very close. He lifted a set right-handed, he lifted a set left-handed on this day. He was not quite able to get both of them at the same time. He wasn't able to officially do it on that day, and then several years later, in March of 2016, I think, I became the first person to do the double old school Yorks pinch. And then sometime later, maybe 2017, Chad went back to Sorenex and was able to not only pull off the double old school Yorks pinch lift, but then he did it again and became the first person to farmer's walk them. And then I think in 2020 or 2021, I farmer's walked mine. So as far as I know, he and I are the only two to ever farmer's walk them, although there's been several people who have lifted old school Yorks in one hand, including my buddy Luke, who did it this fall. I think it was in September or October. That was number 10. Let's go to number 9. Kingly QnA, how to make the hands thicker. It's got 55,000 views and it came out in 2020. Links in the description. I don't know what it is with hand size, wrist size, things like that, but people love to watch videos about this. And I really don't know like the story behind this video. Since it says Kingly QnA, this would have been shortly after I won the King of Pinch contest in Canada in January of 2020. That was also the first contest that was influenced by my left hand injury, which still bothers me to this day. varying degrees depending on what I'm trying to do, and it even influenced my performance at the most recent NAPALM Nightmare World Championships. Despite my best efforts to fix this, it has not gone away. So we'll see what happens. Number 8, how to do the farmer's walk. How to train the farmer's walk. 62,000 views, and it came out in 2010. I shot this out in the parking lot of my old house and just did a demonstration on technique and how to get the most out of the farmer's walk, how to lift the most weight on it, and how to train it in order to become better at it. And this was right around the time that I put out Intro to Strongman with Steve Slater from Slater's Hardware fame. He now works for Rogue and is heavily involved in the Rogue Strongman competitions. Number 7, should I get regular fat grips or extremes? 58,000 views, came out sometime around 2017. So this was the original video that I did back then. I redid the video to make it shorter recently. I think it was this fall that I put it out. Number 6, what is the inch dumbbell? Full explanation of its challenge. This video has 81,000 views, came out in 2012 or 2013, and it was also the first appearance of this mask in a video. So you got to make sure to watch that because I slip it in there on the down low. Some people notice it, some people don't. So I hope you enjoy that video. It goes over everything you need to know about the inch dumbbell. At the time of that video, people were leaving comments like, what's so hard about lifting 172 pounds? Well, I tell you exactly what's so hard about lifting 172 pounds, especially when it's a thick bar handle that's nearly 2.5 inches thick, connected to cast iron globe heads, so it's all one piece, and everything wants to rip your hand right open when you lift it. And I think this video gets so many views because other YouTube personalities consistently say that the inch dumbbell has only been lifted by like 10 people and only one person has ever put it over their head, blah, blah, blah. All this misinformation from these people that don't know what they're talking about. And still to this day, one of the most common terms that brings people to my channel is Thomas inch barbell. What the fuck? Barbell? It ain't a fucking barbell. Who searches for that shit? All right, number 5. Gripper training. How many reps before I move up to the next gripper? 87,000 views, and it came out 2011. So what I was doing with this video was trying to dispel this myth that if you get a certain number of reps with one gripper, then it's time to buy the next gripper. That is not the case. I don't support that. I think I make it clear in that video. I haven't watched it in a long time. But this is something that used to be on, I believe, the Iron Mind website or on the back of the package or something like that. I remember seeing once you hit like 20 reps, then it's time to go up to the next gripper. That's not the case. Instead, I would suggest watching when to move up to the next gripper, which I just did as a reshoot during the 31 days of QnA. So make sure you go to the playlist. The link for that will also be in the description box. Make sure you check that out because I think I cover it the best I've ever covered it, even though I've covered it many times in the past. Number 4, how to set a gripper. Obviously, grippers are extremely popular. Like 5 out of the top 10 videos on my channel have to do with grippers. 4 or 5. So how to set a gripper has 112,000 views. It came out in 2011. And I go over the technique for how to set a gripper in this video. Now, this is when I first started putting out instructional videos online. And this video ends up being very long. And if you check out the comments, you'll see people suggesting, watch this at 1.5 speed. Oh, why do you gotta take so long for the video? Dude, how many people were putting out videos in 2011 showing you for free how to set a video or how to set a gripper? Like, come on, dude. Like, sorry, I wasn't so polished back then. It's all about the information. I just don't understand people sometimes. Number 3, lifting the 200-pound kettlebell. 113,000 views, and it came out in 2014. And this is when I believe I first borrowed the 200-pound kettlebell from my buddy Robbie at DNR Steel in Wysox, Pennsylvania. Real good friend of mine. And still to this day, I get my Euro plates from him. So we just did a couple feats where we tried to do a goblet squat with the 200-pound kettlebell, and lots of comments about, oh, you're gonna hurt your back. Oh my god! Like, have you never seen people lift Atlas stones, dude? Come on, bro. This is not that high of risk when you know what you're doing with bracing. So why is this video so popular? I think a lot of people back then didn't know there were 200-pound kettlebells, so they were like pretty curious. The thumbnail is decent. It's just a picture of the 200-pound kettlebell. And then I think people watch it over and over to see how we're just about ready to break our spines. Hey, we're in the top 2 now. We're back to grippers. How often should you train with grippers? This has got 119,000 videos. It came out in 2011. 2011 was either a good year for gripper videos, a good year for grip, or just nobody was putting out gripper videos and everybody watched mine. So I don't remember much about this video. I think the background is my, what do you call that thing? Pegboard with some grippers on it. And I talk about, you know, how often to train with grippers. The fact is, I think a lot of people train too often with grippers, but at the same time, they don't get anything out of the training because they don't really have a program. So I think shortly after this, I put out Crush, Total Gripper Domination, which goes over proper technique and shows you drills and gives you a very basic program that you can try for grippers. Now later I came out with cadence-based training, which in my opinion is a much better gripper training program than what I provided for Crush. The most important thing with this is most people only need to train grippers twice, but that's assuming A, their set is correct, B, they have the right assortment of grippers, and C, that they're following a good gripper program. So if you're doing way too much volume in your training, 2 days a week is going to be too much. If you're not doing a lot of volume, you can probably train them more often than 2 weeks. And still, you have to take into consideration everything else in your program. I realize that some people only train grippers, so they don't have to worry about how the gripper training is affecting everything else they do. But that's a lot of variables, man. So it really depends on everything that you're working on, and it's hard to wrap all this up into one video. So even though some of these videos are very popular, they've been watched many times, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to help everybody out. That's why I suggest getting Crush, Total Gripper Domination, to make sure you're doing this stuff right, and get an introduction to drills. And then cadence-based training, which is a program that I've selected drills for in order to bring up all aspects of your crush. So really, I strongly suggest everybody get those 2 products. They're kind of like encyclopedias of gripper training, and if you get those 2 things and you're training for like a deep set, parallel set, mash monster set, or competition set, then CBT, cadence-based training, is really going to help you out big time. I can't put enough emphasis on the fact that people need more grippers than just the one, like the whole numbers and the halves from Iron Mind. You have to have your grippers rated. You have to have in between grippers, and I've explained multiple times how you can do that, including once in the playlist for this year's 31 days of Q&A. So make sure you check out the description box for that link. And now, the most popular video, as defined by sheer number of views on my channel, with 185,000 views, and it came out in 2009. How to hit the speed bag like Rocky. Video for Art of Manliness blog. Now, I'm not the greatest speed bag striker in history. However, I have taught many people, person to person, one-on-one, how to hit the speed bag with the technique that I'm showing in this video. It's really not that hard. And I found that hitting the speed bag can be a really nice warm-up for your lower arms for grip training. I was even able to fix my, I'm going to call it tendonitis, in my forearm one time by hitting the speed bag. And it gets you breathing, it burns calories, it's something fun to do, it's a release. There's lots of benefits to hitting a speed bag. The technique I show you is not necessarily how you're gonna fight somebody if you start throwing down at a bar. So I'm not gonna make that promise, but it will show you how to hit the speed bag in the way that Rocky Balboa does in those movies. Now, aside from the top level instruction that I give, I think a big reason why this video got so many views is because I wrote it for the Art of Manliness, which was a blog back at this time in 2009. It was extremely popular and showed you how to do all kinds of cool manly things. Now, I don't know if that blog is still up. If it's not, that's a real shame, because it was a fantastic resource for how to DIY, lifting technique, all this stuff. So I believe the dude's name was Brett McKay, and I reached out to him because one of my friends had already written for them. So I said I'd be interested in writing. He said, what could you write me? And although my specialty was grip strength, I didn't figure, I kind of thought that could be a follow-up, which I eventually did do an article on grip strength training, but this video really hit the mark. People really were interested in this and watched it, and it got a great number of views. So the best video on my channel is something that I really don't have much to do with, except for, like right now, I don't even have a speed bag platform set up in my gym. I'd like to get it set up, and eventually I will, but check that out if you're interested in learning how to hit the speed bag, because I know how to teach speed bag. And you'll see I've got a bunch of speed bag videos on my YouTube. I'm pretty good hitting the speed bag as far as like some of the advanced techniques, different directions, side to side, reverse, striking this way, getting the elbows involved and things like that. I got really obsessed with it for a short amount of time, and I was able to build on lots of techniques, and then I kind of got frustrated with branching off into the next level of advanced techniques, and I never really went beyond that point. But there's lots of cool stuff on the channel as far as advanced speed bag strikes. Now, I did want to try to look at my channel and analyze it for likes to see if maybe I would get like a different list based on likes, but I couldn't figure out how to do that on my phone. Maybe if I went on my laptop, I would have, more functionality. I'm not sure. It is disappointing that none of my feats come up in the top 10. However, when I searched for 30,000 or more, then some of my feats came up, such as the first time I pinched the old school Yorks, That came up, as well as a couple of others. Just wanted to throw that out there. So I thank you for watching. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Check out the description box for the playlist, for the top 10 list, as well as other ways you can support the channel. You know, check out the gripauthority.com. I want everybody to think about something, and this is at the end of like a 20-minute video, so no one's going to see this probably, but like, you know how channels have memberships? I don't do that. And the reason why is because most channels that have memberships don't have a membership site. So the videos that they're putting up for members only, they're splitting the money for those videos between themselves and YouTube. So I don't want to do that, because I'd rather put the high level quality content on the gripauthority.com, and then that way I don't have to split the money with YouTube. So that's why I don't do memberships. In fact, I know a lot of people are appreciative of my videos here on YouTube, but I really have to make everyone understand the degree and the detail of the quality of the videos here on my YouTube channel are down here. The instruction and the quality of the videos at the Grip Authority are up here. It's the best you're going to find related to grip, feats of strength, contest prep, grip training, all that stuff. So I encourage you to check out the gripauthority.com if you're serious about grip training of any sort. Thanks for watching. Give the video one of these. Merry Christmas once again. Questions in the comments section below. And all the best in your training. Take care.